Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. This is your Nifty Guy. Welcome to yet another episode of Decoding Nifty with me. This is the series where we decode Nifty on multiple time frames daily post the market in an attempt to find out the best set of probable trades that we can anticipate for the next trading session. If you like the way I analyze Nifty and I try to teach you price action, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also put down anything that you might have to say in the comments box, be it feedback, be it criticism. I'm open to both. All right, so on that note, let's just start with what we had planned yesterday versus how it played out in the market and how we actually played it, right? So yesterday, what we had planned was that we long Nifty above this particular swing high with a pullback, and we'll look at actively shorting Nifty only below this particular swing low with a pullback. Now, uh, the reason why I gave this particular level as shorting is something wherein if Nifty opens flat or somewhere with a gap down around these levels, then it would this particular trade would get activated. But that does not mean that we will not look at shorting Nifty intraday until it is above this particular level, right? On an intraday basis, if you get a price action which helps you uh, or which depicts that the market is showing some weakness, you can definitely take advantage of that. Obviously, with in a bullish market, when you're taking a short position, you have to trail your stop losses very, very tightly. You have to be good with taking your SLs. So that is something that you guys need to take care of. But otherwise, it's a no-brainer that you can actually short markets. So we'll come and I'll explain how what trades what was I planning once the market was going ahead. So markets opened with a good gap up. I was anticipating that the market would go in for gap filling, but because the gap up was huge and it was only on the overnight situation in the US, and what I believe is once market gives a very good gap up or a gap down, a big gap up or a gap down, it usually comes for filling up the gap, right? So market after a gap up went sideways for 10 minutes, broke the low here, right? And immediately reversed up, giving us a pullback for this particular shorting. And this was one trade which I was planning that market has given us a new low. So this was the opening low. Market gave us a new low, also gave a closing below the opening low, gave us a pullback. So we were ready to short the markets below this particular low. But apart from that, say because today's open was the open equals to high candle, in case if after breaking this low, if market would have crossed this particular high, it would have given a good momentum on the upside. Try to understand the reason behind this. So the stock market, the price movement which is there, it is basically a sum of all the trades that people like you, me, institutions, everybody that they're taking, right? So try to understand the rationale behind uh, why this would have been a good trade. So there were people who have shorted markets here, and once this particular low broke down, there would have been people who would have shorted markets around here. Not everybody waits for a pullback like me. So once the market gave a move in opposite direction, all their SLs would be triggered. And once this particular high was taken out, all the people who would have shorted Nifty from the start in the morning would their SLs would get triggered, leading to a move on the upside. But again, that is something that we will take once it triggers. I'm just trying to explain how once this price was at this particular point, this is how I was planning. So if market gives a pullback, does not break this high and then break this low, we'll take a short trade. Or in case if market gives a uh, covers his entire fall and breaks above this high, we were prepared to go long, right? So a short was taken around here once this low was broken down. This was the pullback. The SL was here. Get a very good momentum on the downside right here at the start of the day. Again, gave a small pullback. And once this low was broken out, this is where I added some more quantities and I got out somewhere around here, right? So the second leg, the quantity that I added did not give much returns, but overall, yeah, it was a good trade. So this was the only trade that I took in the morning. I was done before 11. Now, after that, today was a very volatile day. So first market gave a good fall and then it continued to recover slowly and steadily throughout the day. The second trade that could have been planned was around, I was looking at these levels, but then again, I did not take any particular trade. So as you all know by now, Fibonacci something or retracements or the amount of retracement is something that I actively look at. And once the market had given this fall and had started recovering, I saw the change in structure. So I also put a lot of emphasis on the structure which is there. So on an intraday on a 5 minutes basis, the structure had changed to a uh, higher high and a higher low. So this was the lower low, higher low was formed, a higher high was formed, a higher low was formed. So I was waiting for this particular zone to be taken out before initiating any longs on this particular on an intraday basis. So markets gave a closing above this particular zone around 140, but the pullback was not good enough or for me to take this particular trade with a good risk reward. If I would have taken it again, you can see here the moment was sluggish, but the momentum came at around in the later half of the day, post 2:30 p.m. That is something the time period where I do not trade. So yeah, I thought it is good to avoid this particular trade. I already was in good profits for the day, and I decided to close my day over there. So I have just explained how I look at the trade and how I am already ready before the further candles are being formed. I am already prepared in my mind with the story that yes, see here the low was taken out. So in case if this is a pullback, as soon as this low is taken out, we should take a short entry. In case if this is just a trap for people who have shorted the markets here and then the market goes up above this, we will look at creating a long position. So whichever way the market goes in, I am prepared, right? So that is what I believe something that everybody should look at and also try to build that story around the markets. Now let us plan for tomorrow. On a daily time frame, Nifty has given a very, very good candle today, a positive candle. Although the open-ended divergence that I talked about is still there, right? As you can see, Nifty has yet again formed a new high, but RSI has failed to form a new high, right? So we will be cautiously bullish, all right? Again, we will have to mark this, we'll have to change this particular level because market has now formed a new high. So if we to take a look at this particular zone of ours will just move a little bit one notch up, right? Till the time market is above this particular level, we are good and comfortable. Market can easily retrace up to these levels, form a base, and then again continue the upward journey in case the structure has to change, right? Uh, And on a lower time frame, again, let's plan the intraday basis trades for tomorrow. Let's just delete these lines which were for today. For a long, I believe the trade would be again very, very simple. But I still believe when Nifty is in a good bullish momentum, majority of the trades are taken overnight in terms of a big gap up or a gap down, leaving very little scope for intraday trades. But that is something that is beyond our control, and we should be prepared for anything. So we'll prepare a long trade above this particular swing high. And for a short trade, I will still wait for an active short trade, like I mentioned in the morning in the at the start of the video, not in the morning. We'll have to wait for Nifty to give us a closing or move below today's low for an active short trade, right? So in case if we find Nifty somewhere around opening around with a gap down for some reason and it breaks this levels, we can create a short trade, right? That would be a panic scenario for people, all those who would have created a long at the end of the day, carried them overnight, and then they would see sudden big loss in their accounts, and then that would lead to some good move on the downside, a panic selling scenario, right? In case the market opens flat, that would be the best case scenario. Consolidates for sometimes gives a breakout, gives a pullback. We can take a long entry. That would be the best case scenario. But I am assuming again it will give a good gap up opening tomorrow with some pullback. Again, we can look at long or we can create a short position based on the price action that is formed on an intraday basis, right? We have to be very, very careful about what we do. But yes, any trades on the short side, see, because all these dips which are forming in the market are being bought into, right? So market gave a good fall, but immediately recovered most of it. So, and plus again, the cash data for today, I was waiting for the cash data to be out today. Uh, FIIs have again been net buyers in the cash market. So that is implying that FIIs are maybe slowly adding India to their portfolio and they are building their positions. So that is something which is a big positive, and that is the reason why I say in such scenarios, if you are looking at a short trade on the short side, please be very, very strict with your SL. Be very, very fast to take your stop losses and uh, trail your stop losses very tightly. Reduce your positions while trading on the short side. Trade with lower quantities than you usually do. But on the long side, yeah, you can trade your regular normal quantities. But again, on the long side also, I believe the risk reward is right now not very feasible. The market is a bit overstretched. So this is the move which I keep on continuously talking about in my videos. This is a parabolic move, and I usually don't like the way these moves happen, and usually they also tend to retrace in a even quicker manner, right? So that's it from me for today. I hope you guys liked the video or the analysis. In case if it helps you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment. That would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good trading day. Cheers. Thank you so much, guys.